Hi everyone, welcome to Final Thoughts ahead of Friday's deadline for Gameweek 7. Loads to discuss as usual, so let me introduce you to Pras. How you doing, mate?
I'm well, and I'm laughing because Mo has just told me 2 minutes ago that he didn't play his triple captaincy. We spent the whole video talking about it.
Yeah, yeah, I know. I don't know. You know what? I can't even, at least with bench boost, I had almost a reason for it. This one here, there was no reason. We spent a good 40 minutes talking about those predicted numbers from Solio Analytics that these are best, up until game week 19. These are great odds for the most goals, and it materialized. I'm not even sure what to say to you. Am I just stacking? Am I just stacking chips, Praz, for the sake of
Yeah,
it? What do
yeah.
you
Just
think?
you carry them to next season. Forget about second half of the season. You can play 3 bench boosts. No, 4. If you carry all your chips to next season, 4 triple captains. Basically, play a chip every week next season.
The strange thing is, Praz, I was actually feeling a bit smug because them goals came quite late. So
Yeah,
until then,
that's
I
how
was
it goes.
thinking, yeah, I was thinking, maybe I've got this right. And then it went wrong. 16 points. Now I know I have that horrible feeling. The odds of me matching that is near not good at all. So I have missed a game-changing moment, which we will look into more detail when we look at our teams. But yeah, what do you reckon, Praz? I missed a big opportunity there, didn't I?
You did missed a big one, but it's not a season defining one, like,
Yeah,
because you will triple captain at some point, right? And your player, you'll pick your best player in a best fixture. So let's say they get one return, they get one
yeah.
assist, right? So you get 5 points, and if they get a clean sheet, you get 6 points. You lost 10 points to the field. Like, it's not the end of the world. There's a lot of people who have not triple captain because they wildcarded last week as well.
That's a good point. Yeah, that was a good
So there
point.
will
Yeah.
be there'll be other windows, but this was our window, man. If you want wildcarding, this was our window.
And you did say that as well. You know what? And I said to you 2 weeks ago, I've been listening to you. I'm not just podding, but maybe I'm not listening. And I'm trying to force my own plans, which isn't at the
No,
moment.
no,
I
as
can't
you
even say
should.
it's
You
not
should play
working.
your own game.
No,
You
I
should play
always
your
do
own
that.
game for
One
sure.
thing I always do, Praz, 100%. Even though I've got you, I'm fortunate enough to pod with you and I'm listening. I do always do what I want to do, always,
100%.
which
100%.
sometimes might not be good. But let's see. Before we even get into our teams, I've got something I just want to discuss with everyone here. So the Scout team, the Scout family, we've made it into the FCA Awards for the best in football. What's it? Organization, yeah. So please,
Mm.
what I'm here to say to you, vote for us. What do you reckon, Praz? They should go in there and vote for us, right?
Dude, it's best in fantasy football organization. There's no
Yes.
other. Right? Come on. Like, the editorial stuff, the videos that you're listening to right now, and the stuff that they do around, we've got Live FPL as our partner with the price changes. I think it's great, man. Yeah.
You've done a good job. If you want how to vote for us and stuff, there will be some information on the description. So please check that out. And also, big thank you for helping us get to 100,000 subscribers. That's an incredible milestone. So hopefully the next one is 200.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Huge in it. All right. Let's get into this miserable score. 54 points, Praz. That's why we're not going to spend too much time on this. It would have been not too bad apart from Senesi, who is relentless. We'll talk about him a bit more when we reach your team. And I didn't triple captain. The rest of the teams, without going through all of them, all blanked. I suppose a big highlight is, I don't know if you've realized this, Brad. Every week, I love Bruno or I dislike him. This week, I dislike him again. A penalty miss. Has this guy missed 2 penalties, back-to-back 2 penalties, and he might not take them no more?
I mean, he could still take them. I think it's more likely that he takes them, but there's a chance that he doesn't if he win one next game. It's unlucky, man. What can I say? I can't defend his penalty taking.
Nah. Yeah.
Um, and I don't even want to get into, had he scored the penalties, he would be the third highest or second highest midfielder in the game. But he didn't score, man. That's just how it works. It's like, if Haaland didn't score in those 2 goals in the stoppage time, what would happen? Or if Gabriel doesn't score that header, what? They scored. Simple. Move on. They did it, and that's what it is. Bruno's missed 2 penalties. When he missed this penalty, right? My first thought was, maybe it's just one of those seasons, right? I mean, last season, honestly, I was touching a player and they were scoring goals, like Smith Rowe. This guy Konza was scoring headers like he had become Mbappe. Like, you need to have a season like this and then everything you're touching is working out. And when you start off like this, where things are not working out, you pick Wirtz, you pick Watkins, and they do nothing for 6 weeks. You pick Forest defense, and their manager changes. You pick Bruno, who's turning out to be a great pick. He's getting 3 penalties. He misses too. So you just go, what it is, what it is. There's things in FPL you can't control. And I'm actually, having played this game now for 15 years, I manage the emotions a lot better than what I would have if this was like the second, third week,
You
season for me.
do. You do. And I actually think that's one of your best skills. You don't let. I'm a very emotional manager, and I can sometimes do silly moves, which I've done in game week 2. I remember. You're not really like that. You just, it is what
Yeah.
it is, like you said. So Bruno Fernandes, that's our weekly segment. We always have to talk about him. The other letdown is Cucurella. He started the season really well, 3 returns. The last 3 games, it's not been good. I think like 1, 1, and a 0. The red
This
cards
red
have not
card.
helped. I know,
Yeah.
I know. But then you look at it, this week is Liverpool as well, which we're going to talk
Liverpool.
about this week's team as well. But apart from that, yeah, everyone blanked. Semenyo's been a superstar. I'm glad. I have done some good things this season. Bringing him in, I'm happy about that. Yeah, and João Pedro, the shots. I've seen. What do we say about João Pedro? I mean, his shot volume's gone down recently. I mean, you could argue it's the same reasons Cucurella, the 10 men. It's going to
The
impact
10-man
everyone in
thing.
the team. Yeah.
Look, I
And
don't think you can do much about João Pedro and Chelsea in general. You've just been unlucky. They've been at the end of two red cards, right? I mean, playing Man United and Brighton should have been good games theoretically for João Pedro. Space in behind. They don't necessarily sit back or play low blocks. So, but it's one of those things, like watch him against Liverpool and then see what you want to do with him.
one thing I want to say before we move off the team is Rodgers. I played him from game week 1 to 5, nothing. I benched him, instant return. It's just the way it works. It's FPL science. That really frustrated me. Jadoof one, I don't mind. I was never playing it, but the Rodgers one did like sting a little bit. It was almost teasing me. So 54 points and out. It doesn't look good, but believe it or not, I still got a green arrow.
Yeah.
So yeah, well, I think that's possibly because where I am in rank wise at the moment, but we'll take it.
Yeah. And you have all the chips left, right? So like I said, you still have to play all your chips if you want to play them before Game Week 19. So you will catch up. You'll catch up.
I'm definitely going to use them. But the thing is, what is in the back of my mind, though, I'm unlikely going to get your bench boost with the Reinders return and the 16 points Haaland. But I can't think like that. I just have to try my best and hope I get lucky. It's as simple as that.
Exactly.
There you go. Here's your chance to tell me about your Haaland triple captain success.
There's not much here like your team, right? I mean, my Senesi matches your Semenyo. I just had Watkins as my return, which was nice, and then triple captain Haaland. So I don't think it was a amazing week for me either. I mean, of course, it's a huge green arrow, but what I'm saying is, amazing week is defined not just by the score, but in terms of team, right? So, like, the overall team is not in a great shape, right? I mean, if I look at this team, do I want Sells long term? No. Do I want Van de Ven long term? No. Do I want Endai long term? No. Do I want Bruno long term? Question mark. Closer to no. Wirtz long term? No. Watkins long term? No. Estev long term? No. So this is not a team which is where I'm saying, oh, I'm in a great spot right now, which is why I think wildcard is needed next week.
Fair. And we're going to talk more in detail because you're more than likely. It's like 3 back-to-back chips. Impressive. I'm saving all of them. You're using all of them. This is perfect. That's what I mean. In final thoughts, we cover every scenario.
Well, I'm not playing one this week, just to be clear.
Oh yeah, actually, sorry, yeah, it's for over international break. So yeah, apologies. Yeah. So tell me before we jump on this week's teams, more importantly, how did you make Watkins score? I need to understand this. You need to tell me how you've done. Yeah. How did he do this? Because all of us that kept him from game week 1 to 5, nothing. We sold him for Haaland, which was correct, but you kept him and he scored. What's that about?
It's patience, man. What can I say? Like, if you're patient with your players, they will score. It's like, we start to get into this mindset of like I don't have Semenyo, and I think it's a terrible thing that I don't have Semenyo. Every week I go in and say Semenyo is a good pick. Like, he's in 90 minutes, he's taking penalties, he's taking free kicks. I'm terrified every week of not owning him. But the way I think about it is, my players are also allowed to do points, right? It's not like, oh, if I don't have Semenyo and he's hugely owned, that I'm starting the game with 10 players. I also have 11 players. So in some weeks, Watkins can score, Indai can score, Gyökeres can score. So I just think of it like this: like, So I'm just generally more patient with my team. If I have players who have a decent enough fixture, it took a lot of patience, and sometimes it works out like Watkins, sometimes it doesn't work out like Wirtz.
Fair play. Yeah, fair play. Okay, that's a good response. I can't really come back at you at that. I thought it was something more. I don't know. A lot of us were very
No.
frustrated to see him
Yeah,
score the goal, and
I
then
do a dance. I do a dance on my
I'm
terrace when they're playing. That's what it
I'm
is.
you've got to have
Yeah.
something because you can't keep doing this every season. Like once in a while, but every season, Pras, come on, man. Good enough. You've had a good game week. Congratulations. Let's look forward now. Let's look at my team for this upcoming game week. I've got 1.6 million in the bank, one free transfer. No chips. I'm stacking minus prices the next season. So sales in goal. This guy's been a disaster. You've touched on him earlier on. Yeah, me and you both
I
despise
didn't even
this
talk
man.
about him. He's also on 6 blanks. I'm running both Wirtz and Cells at 6 blanks each.
Yeah, they've been you know what, the gamble was the start of the season, which makes perfect sense. Aston Villa and Nottingham Forest had good fixtures, and if we consider what they done last season, they done great jobs. We couldn't foresee that Aston Villa for some reason will become toothless, especially his pre-season. They were banging in goals. that threw us off. And then Nottingham Forest, the argument with Nuno and the owner is for anyway. Sales against Newcastle, I have zero confidence. I'm actually the first talking point, really. Let me run through the team first and we'll speak about whether I should play Dubravka. Sales against Newcastle, Van der Ven against Leeds, Anderson, Cucurella is against Liverpool, not ideal. Reinders, Semenyo, the superstar against Fulham, Bruno Fernandes, Rodgers with a good fixture, João Pedro, Haaland, and Gyökeres. On the bench is Dubravka, Anderson, Doof, and Estev. So let me start from the top, Praz, and you tell me: is there a discussion regarding Dubravka and sales?
I'm starting Dubravka.
Oh wow. Okay, so you've gone. Okay, I didn't think it would be that clean. Is it?
I mean, Nottingham Forest look absolutely terrible. They've lost. They're losing again as we speak.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't touch them.
So it's an easy one for you there, Praz. You reckon there's no point play Dubravka, yeah?
And for me, you remember last week I was talking about I like that Anderson is playing Watkins. That if Anderson keeps a clean sheet, if Watkins blanks, Anderson is likely. Same thing. At least in my team, Watkins is playing Dubravka. So
well, same for me, Rodgers.
Yeah, exactly.
I got Rodgers for exactly that. Yeah.
So I would do that.
Okay. All right. So that was one of the first scenarios. Second scenario straight away is Cucurella. Quite a premium defender who started the season well. I was really keen on him. Last 3 game weeks, like you said, because of the scenarios, but this fixture
it's
doesn't.
the Defcons and Chelsea's form, man. Like you got a little hard done by.
Yes. And then now, so I've got one free transfer, and I should really start with, I was thinking about an Arsenal defender. So I've got the opportunity. I've got two ways I could go here. Sales to Raya is boring. Is the maximum I'll get is possibly 6 points unless he saves a penalty. Or I could do Cucurella to Gabriel or even Timber and bank the money, give me that flexibility over the international break and whatnot. Or I think I've got enough to do Van der Ven straight to Gabriel. I'm checking in a minute and keep Cucurella hoping that I don't have enough. Is it not? Or you saying don't do that move, you reckon?
Oh, no. Sorry. Van der Ven can. Anderson can't.
I thought so. So someone like Van der Ven to say Gabriel, and the thinking there would be is that Cucurella does come into some good fixtures eventually. Like after this, he does come, and maybe it could be something, or it still turns out to be a disaster. So that was the thinking. What do you think about that scenario there, or those transfers?
So first question to you is, are you not wildcarding like anytime soon?
Okay. So I did say to you, there's a possibility I could wildcard over the international break. Nothing's stopping me. Don't worry. I'm not trying to stack them. The real reason is this current team here's bench boost in 8 looks good.
Okay.
Like it looks good. But I did say to you last week, if I'm playing a front 3, then there's still no excuse. I can fix the rest of the team and still bench boost because the rest of the players to keep on the bench. I'm not gonna.
Surely you're not bench boosting with Cells and Dubravka. Like who are they playing next week?
I can't remember off my. I think they're not.
Nottingham Forest are playing Chelsea. So if your plan is definitely to bench boost next week, then
9?
do Cells. Do you ever want to wildcard?
I told you, I'm not stacking the chips for no reason. Trust me. I've got a plan. I'm sure I looked at it. It was game week 8 or 9. I looked at them and it was nice. Because originally I can keep the wild card.
Nottingham Forest is away to Bournemouth. So your keeper, Cells, is not bench boostable in any of these weeks. if your plan is not to wildcard, so it's quite simple. If you're wildcarding next week over the international break, don't
Yeah,
bother with Sels to Raya, right? Because that's a
yeah,
very low value, low upside transfer. Then get Gabriel this week and hope for that bullet header. If you are not wildcarding, then Sels to Raya makes sense because you get an Arsenal defender this week. You already have Gyökeres, and then Raya is the better keeper until whenever you choose to wildcard.
yeah, yeah. That
Next week you
makes
can get,
sense.
or you can get Mamadashvili because he's now good till game week 12.
Yeah, I don't know about that though. What do you think about that? That's become available with Alisson's injury. Two things. First of all, well, Alisson's always gets injured, even though he's world class. That's one. He's always susceptible to this injury. But do you think that's actually a good move? Are you considering it on the wild card? We'll talk about that
I
when in
might.
your team as well.
I
Yeah.
might. I'll see if there's a pressure on team value and stuff. Like my wildcard is all over the place. Like I'm not even sure if I go Haaland and Salah, if I go only Haaland, if I go Isak. It depends on Ekitike's injury. So a lot plays into it. But no, I'm not that tempted because I'm just thinking it's going to be a problem in 6 weeks anyway. Then, and then you've lost a
All right.
Liverpool slot.
Yeah. I've got loads of questions regarding wildcard actually, which we'll leave it for your team because I'm not even 100% sure. I'm clicking the button where you are, so we'll leave that. So that was the in defense. That's the only move. I think the midfield and attack for this game week is good. I don't think there's any issues there. I might even hope like we've even got Anderson on the bench, Juve and Esteve. The starting 11 is good.
It's good. Your attack is good. Your defense is good. And actually, if you're not wildcarding next week, Kukurea is a great option. Like Chelsea's fixtures are really good after
They're
a
really
while.
good.
If he
Yeah.
starts, obviously.
Yeah, well, you should. Yeah, yeah. I mean, they've got defensive injuries though. That's another thing that's not ideal with Chelsea. So it's not just these red cards. They've had some defensive injuries, which has impacted them.
You need to map out a path a little bit in terms of what do you want to do with some of these picks going forward. Because I don't like your Forest picks. I also
Yeah, no,
have them.
Forest. Yeah, Forest picks
So
have to go.
what are you planning to do with them if you don't wildcard soon? Rogers is now going into really bad fixtures. You don't want him. So that's 3 problems. I think the others are fine. The other team
Yeah,
looks all good. If you can deal with those 3 things, Sells, Anderson, Rogers, maybe Van de Ven, although Van de Ven is not urgent, it's fine.
Van der Ven's
But
not
you need
urgent. Yeah. Well,
but you
think
need
about it. There's a
Senesi,
transfer
right?
this week, a transfer after the international break. That's already sorted 2 of them.
Yeah. But none of them are defensive transfers, and you need these DEFCON guys, man. You're like bleeding value to Senesi and Richards and
By the time I buy Senesi, he'll be like 8 million, that guy. Every week, he's relentless. Honestly, I watch him and I'm just sitting there laughing, thinking, how's he doing this? Unreal. But I'm sure he'll stop once I bring him in. So I did say to you, I'm not 100% against wildcard. My original plan, if I'm honest with you, was to wait until 13 or 12 to try and see how Liverpool are then and I can take the advantage. But is there any point if I'm that far behind for every week? Like you said, I'm fixing something. I've got Nottingham Forest, I've got Aston Villa. So maybe I do go over international break. I'm just not like you 100%. I'm not going to activate, for example, straight after the
you're
match
going to
on
lose all the
Friday.
prices and stuff on Friday. The one benefit of a Friday night wildcard is there's lots of price changes on a Friday,
Yeah.
right? So, for example, Saka will rise on a Friday night. Now, let's say Saka does well on the weekend against
Yes.
West Ham. He's going to rise again. Now, whether you keep him on your wildcard or not is a different thing. You've made 0.2 off of him just by the fact that you were wildcarding. So it's stuff like that that helps if you're deciding earlier. But yeah, you can equally just see later, right? I think Palmer's fitness is going to be a big thing. If Palmer is fit, a lot of people will just pull the wildcard and say, that's my differential, while nobody is on Palmer yet. Or if Ekitike is out for a long time and then you go, I'm just going to get Isak, man. I'll be the first one on Isak because now he's going to get minutes. Stuff like this is going to make a big difference.
But then are you going to get that information over international? That's one of the reasons why, as well, what appeals to me by waiting, you might get that information, that certainty. For example, Isak at the moment is not a pick. It's not a pick. Well, we don't know with Ekitike what's going on there. He's not.
People are overreacting to Liverpool, man. Like, it's your team, man. Like, they'll be fine. They'll figure it out. They've got good fixtures now after this week.
So
they're playing home to Man United. How do you think that fixture goes?
Normally a very good fixture, but I will say this to you. I'm optimistic. You know me, I'm always happy with my team. But at the moment, we have been not crisis. If you read social media or the news, it sounds like we're doomed. Slot should be sacked and Salah's finished and Wirtz is a Sunday league player. It's not that bad. I agree with you. It's
Exactly.
not that bad, but things are not ideal, which we will touch on. In fact, maybe we touch on that now. Let's do that right now. Actually, 2 seconds. I think that's a relevant point. So because we're talking about Liverpool, there's a good segue just to talk about Salah's slump.
Mm.
Now, this is a graphic taken from your boy Solio there, and you could see this is Salah's worst start to a season since he's been here. Every statistics is down at the moment, whether it's non-penalty goals, non-penalty goal and assists, and shots. Everything is down. So there is something there to be a little bit concerned, especially with regards to FPL, because you're paying big money for these guys, brands like Salah and say Isak in theory, and if Liverpool are not flowing, I don't think they're an option at the moment. What do you think about this?
No, I'm worried as well. My plan always was to get Salah in game week 8 wildcard. And I still might do it if Palmer is not fit and if Isak is not an option. I still might do it because look, if we sat here 2 days before game week 1 and I told you Haaland last season, second half of last season, had the worst of his career second half of last season, what would you say? You would say, man, I'm not touching Haaland. But 6 game weeks later, you're like, oh, he's perma captain. I don't want anyone else. Right. So with these big hitters, right, I'm a little bit more wary to have a very strong opinion that they're finished or that's it. They're not going to deliver. So if it turns out to be the case, it's fine. We will not go there. Maybe if I buy him on wildcard, I may not captain him. It's stuff like this, but I still don't want to rule him out. And I still think he's one of the best differentials in the game if you have them right now, because everybody's gone off him, especially those people who wildcarded. People are not going to buy him, use transfers to buy him. So it feels like a bit like last season where everybody was on Haaland and I was like, you know what, I'll go Salah and Haaland because both are good. Because if Palmer is out, if Arsenal's fixtures are okay, I don't need to have Gyökeres and Saka. Maybe I can have neither and just go for defense. I can get a Salah and Haaland draft very easily. I don't need to have Bruno either. You can have all the players you want. Apart from an Arsenal attacker, you can have all the players you want, assuming Palmer is unfit as well. So I'm just thinking it might be worth it, right? I mean, I've made some drafts for Wildcard 8, which we'll discuss over the international break. Haaland Salah teams work if Palmer is not fit.
Yeah, and I think the cheap midfielders and cheap DEFCON defenders have made it much more easier. I agree.
And
I've tried a couple of permutations.
It's not even that cheap. Like I've got Gabriel, I've got Raya, so it's not a cheap defense. Obviously the others are all DEFCON guys.
That's what I mean. Yeah.
I've got Semenyo, who for me is very expensive. I have never owned him, so he'll be 7.8 when I buy him. And you know, Reinders, I've got, maybe I can even fit in a João Pedro or a Gordon. Like I can get people.
Yeah. No, that's fair. And my say on Salah at the moment, and it's whether slot. There's a lot's changed in this team. We've already discussed loads of players have left. So, for example, Trent was so influential for Salah's game. He's played with 2 right backs randomly, 3 right backs, Szoboszlai, Frimpong, and Bradley. So he hasn't built up the relationship there. The new guys up top, which Salah has spoken about, he needs to get used to their game. So Isak and Ekitike, as well as that, in theory, they're an upgrade on Darwin Núñez, but these are new guys. You got to get used to them. So there's a lot going on there, but I like you think it's a matter of time before they click. So I'm not going to go too far. I think they're finished. I think this will turn around soon. And the timing of that, if you get that right, I think you'll flourish in FPL. I think if you can get that right, because like you said,
and if you're wrong on Salah, right? If you're wrong on Salah and Palmer's fit in 2 weeks, you just go Salah to Palmer and then you have all the money to do whatever else you want, right?
Yeah.
So it's just, I like it as a good starting point where you're on the player that other people could have trouble getting to. And then if you're wrong, it's not the end of the world. It's my logic, right? Other people are also allowed to score points. That Atletico Madrid game, it could happen in one of the Premier League games and everyone's like, whoa, I need Salah, man.
Exactly that. Totally agree with you. All right, let me go back to my team so we can finish on that and then go on your team. But I think apart from that, if we're not talking further forward, just for this game week here, they're the only transfers I've considered. Everything else is good. Captaincy. It would have been nice to have a discussion regarding captaincy with Gyökeres, but at the moment, what's your take on him? No, you can't.
I'm not that bullish on his minutes. No, it's more the minutes because Arsenal are playing Sunday, Wednesday, and now this game is Saturday.
Yeah.
He's played 90. I don't think he gets more than 70 minutes.
I was worried when I saw the minutes. When I was watching Arsenal yesterday, it was minutes watch. It really was. And I'm thinking, wait, he's still on the pitch. I get it. They're trying to play him into, confidence. And it makes perfect sense. Even you saw Martinelli, he didn't want to score. He waited for the ball to actually
Yeah,
try to roll in, and you could see that his team want him, because if you want to achieve all the big trophies like Arsenal want, they need their number 9 like with confidence. So, but I'm in agreement. They might look after him this week, especially if they're 2 or 3 up and it's looking like a done deal.
exactly.
If they're losing or it's a very tight game, then maybe he'll stay on. But yeah, so that's the reason there's no chat of captaincy. I totally agree with you. All right, let's go. So just for clarity, just in case I'm not stacking my chips, I might activate wildcard over the international breaks. I know Praz is thinking I'm saving them.
So then, what are you gonna do? What move are you gonna do?
Well, what do you mean? If I do my wildcard, I'll fix loads of stuff. If I don't
No,
wildcard,
no,
it's
no,
gonna
no,
be
no, 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 no,
oh,
no. What are you doing tonight or tomorrow morning before the deadline?
what do you mean? What am I doing tonight? My
What
transfer?
transfer? Yeah, is it Van de
Oh,
Ven to Gabriel?
yeah, I think it's gonna
See, you're not sure.
no, it's between one
Give
of
us your
those. Yeah,
final thought.
so no, so my one was 100% Gabriel. Then he got that little injury. I think we know he's fine. Okay, so I think we're fine. I would be. Can you imagine how fuming I would be if I done that move and he didn't miss this game? But anyway, so it's definitely Gabriel I wanted. That's my top priority. It's just whether it's Cucurella or Van de Ven goals. That's it.
And so you're definitely getting Gabriel, because I would just, if you're wildcarding next week, get Timber.
Yeah, because he rested midweek. Yeah, that's if I'm
Yeah.
wildcarding though. That's if I'm wildcarding. That's what I'm going to be thinking about tonight.
Okay. All right. So these are not
I'm
final thoughts then. These are
this,
pre-final thoughts.
no, but they're nearly final thoughts. I
I'm
just
just
need.
pulling it.
I know you are. I know you are. Don't worry. And I'm intentionally giving you these so we can get this out of you. This is good. But
Yes.
all right, that's enough of my team. Let's look at your team. You can take us
All
through it,
right.
Prez.
So I've already talked about Dubravka versus Cells. I think it's close. They're both rubbish. So I'll just play the less rubbish guy. So that's that. I'm playing the 3 best defenders to in FPL 2025-26: Senesi, Richards, and Anderson. Now, I think 2 of them concede. One of them keeps a clean sheet. But I think
Yeah.
all 3 could keep defensive contribution points. Maybe not Richards, because Everton are not that easy to score those points against. Maybe they are. But I think 2 of them will get defensive contribution points. One of them will get a clean sheet. It doesn't matter who does what. So they're fine. Of course, I'd love to have Gabriel instead of Anderson this week, but I don't. So it's fine. Then I've got Indai, Reinders, Bruno, Wirtz, Watkins, Haaland, Gyökeres. So I think the forward line is good this week. I think, in fact, the top 3 scorers this week on Rob T are Watkins, Haaland, Gyökeres. So that's cool. I'll do Wirtz to Saka. That's the move. I have exact money. I actually also have exact money for Van de Ven to Gabriel and bench
Ooh.
Wirtz. So the question is, who do I want this week? Is it Gabriel or Saka? And I think Saka. It's only for a week, right? So it's okay.
So
On a long term,
Saka,
I'd get a defender, but this week, go Saka.
Saka as well. Minutes, but he's going to be managed, isn't he? He's not going to be playing 90 minutes, is he, Prez? So what, 70 minutes is good enough? You happy with that?
I think, yeah, he should get 80 minutes, 70, 80 minutes, because he didn't play midweek, or he played, but he didn't start. So I think he gets 70, 80 minutes, and that's good.
And no, well,
Excuse me.
bless you. And I think
Hmm.
no penalties. No penalties, and I think he's lost some corners as well. Is that right?
No, he's still taking the
No,
corners.
is he still taking some corners?
Odegaard took the corner where they scored because he was off the pitch. But he takes all the
Oh, is that what it
left-handed
was?
corners.
Okay, all right,
Yeah,
that's good. I
yeah.
was double checking. So I was thinking he's losing a lot of the extra things that make him a really good pick. But I do like that. So finally, Verts, you finally got fed up with him. It's time for him to go. Yeah.
I'm fed up, man. Like, he also
Yeah.
played 90 minutes midweek. I'm not even 100% he starts, right? So
Yeah.
it's fine. Sometimes experiments work, sometimes don't work, sometimes patience works, sometimes it doesn't work. The error bars are very high when you pick a new signing. Sometimes they can turn out to be an Ekitike. Sometimes they turn out to be Words.
Yeah. Totally agree. So and Fernandez, let's talk just a little bit on your wild card. Is he gonna stay in your team? Your favorite son? Is he
Unlikely.
gonna? Is it
Unlikely.
unlikely? Yeah.
Because, look, I had him game week 1 because he had Burnley at home, Sunderland at home in a 7-game week period, right? Worth it. One of them weeks I captained him.
Yeah.
Now going forward, I don't see a lot of weeks where he'll be like a top 2 candidate. He'll be good for many weeks, but he'll not be amazing. So I think I can go against him, but I think he's still a good pick. So if you have him, and you don't have to panic and sell him.
Yeah, I'm totally in agreement with you. And going back to your DEFCON defense, it's a bit. We have lost a little bit, haven't we, with this DEFCON? It's very good in a way. In theory, it's open up the pool of players, albeit this is the meta
No, this is the pool. The pool
DEFCONs.
is here.
This is the pool of players. But I was gonna get. Isn't it a shame? Where's the fullbacks? Where's our attacking? Where's the fullbacks, man? I mean,
I don't know.
not
Like
even.
I was thinking, this Diouf could become a good option under Nuno if he plays that attacking role. But then I was doing some thinking, and I'm like, you know what? Kilman is better. Kilman's gonna be the Murillo. So why should I bother with a Diouf?
I know. It's sad. You are right. That's the reason I wanted to ask you, because I was having a discussion with someone else. Has this change been better or has it been worse? I mean, it's probably made it easier to pick the back 3 or 4. And also, have you considered playing the back 4 because of the points returning ratio?
I will have 5 good defenders on my wildcard.
And that so to allow yourself. Is that intentionally to make it so flexible so you can play a 5 at times or a 4 or a 3?
Yes, absolutely.
The whole point, yeah.
Because I've played my bench boost in my wildcard, I will have a non-playing striker or a non-playing midfielder, because I want to have my first sub, second sub as my defenders or midfielders. I want to play my defenders a lot more. That's the idea.
Fair. Yeah. Yeah, I think you're poised very, very well for this week here. It's a shame, you know what? It's a shame just to look at this here, Pras. It's a big shame we can't have that Gyökeres discussion, because look, the numbers from Solio Analytics look pretty good this week against West Ham. They look really good, don't they? It's a big shame, like you said. Haaland is the standout at the moment. He's made it very difficult. I think everyone's in fear mode, especially even in Champions League again yesterday. Relentless. It's just every game. It's a minimum 1 goal.
That's the problem. It's hard to go against him.
If you bring Saka in, I'm looking at this. I'm not sure if it's by luck or by design. You will have the top 4.
Hey, you will have the top 4. Man. Don't jinx it, man.
No, that don't work against you. I've been trying. Don't worry, I've been trying all season. It don't work. I think you'll have the top 4. Impressive.
I'll have the top 4. Yeah.
Yes, but the 5th one is the one I wanted to ask you questions about. So I don't know if you've seen that he took the 2 penalties. Gordon,
of course,
for Newcastle.
Of course,
Of course, you would have made a note of that. What do you think? A lot of people will be thinking, and us too. If I wildcard during international, I will be thinking about him. What's your take on him?
I think he's a good option. But look, there's 2 sides. There's 2 things they need to meet as thresholds to become excellent FPL picks, right? Actually, 3. They need to get FPL returns, of course, number 1. Number 2 is penalties, set pieces. So he's ticked that. But the third one also he needs to tick, which is minutes. Right now, there's a little bit of minutes up in the air in terms of, is he going to get those consistent starts? When he starts, is he going to consistently get the 80, 90 minutes? He came off very early against Arsenal. I think it was the 60th minute or something. So I want to see 90 minutes or 80 minutes plus and penalties, and then he becomes a perma play. Like, he's a great pick. Until then, jury's out. Just penalties isn't enough.
You don't think so? I mean, Newcastle come into some really good fixtures. Apologies, I haven't got the latest one. This one's got game week 6 still in here. But Newcastle do come in. I suppose they're not incredible. If you look at the data, 1.9, 1.4 onwards. They are 6th best.
They become
attacks.
Good from 17 onwards. Sorry, 14 onwards. And remember, in 14, we'll have lots of free transfers, which we'll need to use. We'll have to use. Because we'll get 5 new in 16. So we'll deal with that then. That's the thinking.
Hopefully I've used all my chips, so I can actually get those 5 transfers.
You should bench boost in 16, wildcard in 17, triple captain 18, and what is left? Free hit in 19.
You know what?
By the way, have I told you one idea?
No, go on.
You can bench boost in consecutive weeks.
When
wildcard
19,
wildcard in 18. Yeah. Wildcard in 18, bench boost 19, bench boost 20. Imagine that.
That's pretty big. Well, I don't think we've never had that scenario. That would be, but no, I'm going to save mine. Don't worry.
No, you save that.
I'm going to save mine. Don't worry about that. I wanted to ask you one more question, and actually, there's 2 questions before we're actually going to finish off today. We've gone through everything. The second question was not last week. I saw in the comments people asking, a couple of comments were regarding Doku. Is he a viable option as well? Because he's been very good this season. Yeah, he does, doesn't he? And because I've always been skeptical on City. We've got two lovely players from them, Reinders and Haaland, of course. Is Doku? You think he's if he was on wild? Are you going to consider him, for example?
No, no, he's
So
not
so
my
why
kind of
why
player.
not? Why is he not your kind of pick?
He's because Reinders exists, right? So Reinders is there. He's getting similar minutes, and his output is not too dissimilar from Doku, and his minutes are long term better than Doku. Because when Shirky comes back, Mamouche comes back, just don't know how they set up. But if this changes, if Shirky comes back and he's taking Reinders' his minutes, not Doku's, I'll change my mind. But as of now, I'm not picking him over Reinders.
Okay. And the other question I had as well, and that was to do with free hit. That was in the comments last week. Have you thought of all the chips, the other ones, believe it or not? I know you keep teasing me about stacking. I've got when I'm going to use that, but free hit's the one actually. I'm not quite sure. When are you thinking about free hit?
I will reveal in my international break. There is a plan. There's a new free hit week.
Well, I know you've got the plan. I was trying to get it out of you now. So leave that one for international break. That's a very
No, no.
good.
Okay. I'll say it this way. If you're on a Salah Haaland team, then playing it in the week where Salah and Haaland play against each other, which is game week 11, is a good week. If you're on a Haaland team, then playing it in a week where Salah has home to Sunderland is a good week. So think about it in that term. On what is your team and which is the week where you want to do that stuff. That's the thinking. So this is why when I will talk about my wildcard team, it'll have an anchor free hit because that's how I play. That and I can change my mind as information changes, but I will always set up in a way that this is what my plan is, and then you act accordingly.
I knew I'd get it out of you. See, I know you're the man with the plan. Thank you for that. And we'll just look at the matchups quickly. Your boys actually could win a game this weekend. They actually.
I
I'm
wouldn't
not
be
sure
so
if you
sure,
want.
man.
Do you reckon not? I mean, Sunderland haven't
Sunderland
been
have
the.
looked good,
I've seen where they are in the league. They've been excellent. They really have.
and it's not like Man
But
United won at a canter against Burnley.
yeah, but Burnley are very strong defensively as well. They're capable of being like that, I suppose.
As are Sunderland.
At
As are
home.
Sunderland.
Yeah, you're right.
No, Burnley was away to us.
Was it away? Oh yeah, and you
Yeah.
still didn't. Yeah, you still struggled. So you don't sound confident over this.
I'm just in one of those phases. I go through this Man United are back and Man United are terrible. Like, so at the moment we're in Man United a terrible phase. So I don't know. Like, of course, I expect us to win, but I wouldn't bank on it.
Yeah, and the only other matchups this game week, similar to last week, there's not many, like you said, glowing colours. Arsenal one we already know about. Arsenal good, super strong this season. Man City against Brentford, we're aware of. Albeit Brentford better than I expected. At one stage, I thought they were going to be terrible, but they're not too bad. Newcastle, Liverpool, Chelsea. Let's finish up on that. What's your predictions? I just want to know selfishly for me. We haven't got a good record there.
I think it's a 1-1 kind of game. 1-1, 2-1 to Liverpool kind of game.
I'll take that. I will take that. Cool, Pras. Thank you for that. We've gone through everything in perfect timing.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Excellent.
So listen, let me just say thank you very much for watching. Please like if you haven't already liked the video. Subscribe. Make sure you tune in over international break. We'll probably do a video so Pras can see if I've activated or if I've saved my wild card. But
I can't wait.
on that, you can't wait in it. Every week we come in and say, Mo, you didn't use your. But let's see if that is the case.
It'll happen. It'll happen.
And I'm going to use it. Anyway, guys, no worries. Take it easy. See you later.
Yep. Thank you, everyone.